What's going on, my peeps? Your boy Versatile is back with another video. Yes, as you see, I've changed the aesthetic just a little bit. Still trying new things out. Hopefully you guys like the cube. I've been trying to figure out a way to use it. I wanted to utilize the space a little differently, create a different lighting environment. And so if you guys really kind of dig this vibe, definitely let me know in the comments below. But in this video, guess what we talking? We are most definitely talking about that LG G8 ThinQ. First of all, the first thing that we're going to talk about is that name, ThinQ, or Think. How about LG, you think about getting rid of ThinQ, the moniker for your phones in general. It's too much to say, it's just the LG G8. I think one of the big problems LG's having is establishing its place in the mobile market. They don't really release tablets anymore. If they did, they kind of went to T-Mobile, or T-Mobile's had a few of them anyway, like the G-Pads or whatever. And the G-Pads are like barely okay, but LG seems like they do better in the mid-range market anyway in terms of like the stylo phones and everything, and the K series and whatnot. So them trying to establish themselves in the mobile market, it's been tough for them, especially with the advancements Apple has made with Face ID. Samsung has made with their new display with the cutout. I can't even think of the name right now, but that would be in another video. So with Samsung and their advancements and their innovation that they've had, the in-display fingerprint sensor with the ultrasonic sensing. So with LG, they've been really struggling with trying to figure out what they can do to stand out, and that's why we have the ThinQ. Whether it started with like, what was it, the G7 and the V40 to now, ThinQ's not really rubbing a lot of people the right way, especially when you have to say it so often. So LG, please drop the ThinQ. But with the G8 in particular, it's a rather solid phone. Like, the specs are up to date. You get like 6 gigs of RAM out the box, Snapdragon 855. You get a nice tall screen, mostly display, still has a notch. And so when you look at the way this year is trending with not just notchless phones, but even foldable phones, LG again is kind of finding itself in this weird muddy ground of limbo with their devices. And so that's why they decided to come out with this G8 with this signature feature called Vein ID. Is it a gimmick? You know, I watched MKBHD's video, and of course it seems like it's basically just reading the structure on your palm, you know, in terms of your veins and your hemoglobin and all that kind of stuff. And so like, and it seems like it struggled as I was watching him kind of try to raise his palm to the phone to read it, to let you in. But there lies the issue in terms of having to raise a hand and for it to get it correctly and to allow you into the phone or unlock. And that's a lot, and that's a lot of time. One of the biggest things that people wanted to see with Samsung, and if they could innovate on the fingerprint sensor, was that if it could still be just as fast as OnePlus's infrared sensor or optical sensor that they have for their in-display fingerprint sensor. See if it could be faster than that and still succeed. And as we've seen so far, and you'll see on my channel as well, I got the S10e coming in-house, that the in-display fingerprint sensor works good. Now with the 10e, of course, you have a side fingerprint sensor integrated into the power button, which is fine. But you see, with time, when it comes to getting into the phone, some people kind of feel like Face ID from Apple is kind of slow. So now you got this palm or hand ID, vein ID situation with LG where you have to use your palm to try to get into the phone, and it's like, come on, man, like, just make a very good phone. Try to keep up with trying to go notchless or just be very outstanding in your phone, and you'll sell well. But when you start coming out with these gimmicks, it feels like it's a gimmick. It feels like you're just trying to do something to get somebody to look at your product. And so like, for someone who's had an LG before, I've had a V10. I like the V10. That idea and concept of the V series is very cool, and it seems like it kind of has slipped away, starting with like the V30. It feels like the V20 was still kind of carrying on that concept of the V10 being like a tough, solid, like just content creator phone. And it seems like with the V30, V40, and the V50 coming out, it's not really that anymore. It seems like it's pretty much just like a better version of the G series, which is still fine, I guess, but it seems like they've lost themselves in just the V series alone. So it will be interesting to see what LG does with the V50 ThinQ, but please just drop the ThinQ thing, or Think, whatever you want to call it. Just call it the V50 and the LG G8. And maybe that alone will kind of help you gain customers back into contemplating and considering your products in the mobile market. But you guys let me know down in the comments what you guys think about the LG G8. Is that Vein ID a gimmick to you? Do you think that's something that's gonna really pull for LG? Do you think it's kind of wasteless or useless? In my opinion, I think it's useless. I think it's sad. Like, if you could have went further into Face ID technology, fingerprint sensor technology. They do have the fingerprint sensor on the back, of course, still, so that's not a problem. But do something like that. I understand, like, trendy, and sometimes you don't want to always go with the trend, but to be having something such as Vein ID, where it just takes just as long to kind of register and get into your phone, probably a bad look. Definitely a bad look. Now, one thing that G8 does have going for it is the Crystal Sound OLED. It's technology from the TV series where part of the display is the speaker, and so it's like the top half of the phone is the speaker for the phone, and so like you can still hear it well if you hold it to your face. And then one thing that MKBHD was saying is it works similar to bone conduction because of the vibration that comes from the screen. So that's pretty dope, that you can still relatively hear or get the message because of the vibration if you hold it against your face. But the speaker still works very well in itself as a speaker for the top half of the display. So Crystal Sound OLED is built into the LG G8, and I find that to be pretty cool there. And so the LG G8 does still have something working for it. It still has up-to-date specs, and it still looks like a solid phone. Like me, the notch is not a big deal to me, and so I think like the LG G8 could still be a good phone. I'm gonna try to get my hands on that as well to showcase you guys. It's just a matter of whether or not Vein ID is a pull, and if LG is suffering from the same thing Sony's suffering from, in that they just can't innovate good enough or get their phones into the market well enough. And that's maybe due to marketing, but then it's just like, how you maintain and upkeep your phone. Jumping back into the LG space with the G8, please don't market this phone as $1,000, because that will definitely hurt the phone. As you see, even with Samsung didn't gear all the prices to the $1,000 mark. The 10e, which is a direct competitor to the 10R, is $750. The S10 is $900, I believe, and then the S10 Plus is $1,000, I believe. And then of course, if you upgrade in between it, getting more RAM and storage, of course the price goes up. But they didn't immediately go for that $1,000 price point, and they still cheaper than Apple phones. So LG, you're gonna do better with the G8 being priced in the sub $750, sub $800, maybe push $850 category, just to be competitive in that price market, that price range. But that's enough about the LG G8. You guys let me know what you guys think about the G8. If you guys even paid attention to it or heard about it, let me know down in the comments below. And again, let me know if you kind of enjoy this aesthetic. I like this right here. I've been trying to figure out how to utilize the space behind me, utilize that Go Cube I bought. I showcased you guys some time ago. I really want to add some flair to this channel in different ways where I can talk and stuff like that. It's been a while since I've been able to sit down and talk like this, just because I had that accent and everything. So now that I'm able to get back into the groove, I feel like we're gonna start pushing and kicking out content. That's it for this video. Your boy Versatile signing out, and until the next video, wait for it.